Welcome to Chatham-Kent Cougars junior varsity football action from the Chatham-Kent Community Athletic Complex here on your TV. On the camera, Jeff Brooks. My man beside me, Matt Weaverink. I'm Mike James. Happy to bring you this junior varsity football action this evening. It is the 5-0-1 Cougars kicking off to the 2-4 Waterloo Region Predators as we get this one underway. So one hopper to the return man. They're going to go with the fake reverse right off the hop, trying to surprise the Cougars. Good coverage there, though, on special teams. And Waterloo's going to start this game off on offense at their own 37-yard line.
Yeah, nice deep kick from the Cougars there to put them in tough territory back there to start with. But decent return still by the Predators. As you mentioned, that little trickery right off the bat.
Sorry, it's going to be their 34-yard line to start here for Waterloo in the white with the blue numbers, and the Cougars, of course, in green and white numbers. Predators going to start out shotgun here. One back behind the quarterback. They send four in motion. Take the snap, looking out to this near side. Good-looking ball, and it's caught by the intended receiver who sheds one tackler, able to evade a second, but not the third. Good coverage there by the Cougars. Very, very short gain on first down on that completed pass.
Yeah, good coverage in the second tackle there by Braden Charbonneau. He did a great job of covering off after he had a hand on that guy in the backfield. It looked like they were going to have a bit of a loss there, but then Charbonneau was able to wrap him up after he broke that tackle.
Call it a gain of about 2 yards on that passing play. 2nd and 8. Waterloo going shotgun again, empty the backfield. Looking out to the far side. They're going to air this one out deep. He's got a man. Had about 3 or 4 steps on the nearest defender, but just overthrown. And the Cougars dodge a bit of a bullet there on that deep pass. Had a receiver wide open.
Well, at least they didn't get burned on that play. But if you're the Cougars, you're looking at that and you're seeing that number 11 has an arm. He can toss it down the field. Might not be quite as accurate as he would like, especially on that throw, but that's something to watch out for later in this game. You got to respect that deep ball from him.
Yeah, Matt Lynn at quarterback for Waterloo, and it's worth mentioning there is a pretty good gust again here today. Second day in a row. You can really feel it up in the booth. Waterloo going to line up to punt this one away. The one hopper picked up, and 2 Cougars there set to return it. Caught cleanly, looking for a lane, and pretty decent return there by Logan Stafina, number 22 for the Cougars. The Cougars going to start this one off in Waterloo territory.
And good job by the return men. Communication there was key, as both of them were right in the same area, and one of them had to pick it off. They didn't run into each other. They passed it up and were able to still make a decent return out of that as well.
So the first time we see the Cougars on offense, 10:34 to play here in the first quarter. We are scoreless. This is going to be the first offensive possession for the Cougars. And I mentioned that gust just a moment ago. The Cougars are going to have the wind at their back here to start off 1st and 10. Cougars going shotgun as well. And they're going to hand it off on this very first play to the near side. Some pretty good blocking out front and some speed. Oh, stepping out of bounds. Boy, oh boy, Brandon Benoit with a nice run. And had he not stepped out of bounds there on the near sidelines, he might have gone to the house.
Yeah, 21 and 22. You saw Stafina. He made a nice return there on that punt return as well, but this time he was taking out the lead block there and was making some room for him down the field. As you mentioned, if he didn't step out of bounds, he was there clearing the way for him out there.
Yeah, Benoit had a nice cutback lane, cut it back across the grain, but unfortunately that left foot just stepping on the line, and the officials blowing it dead, but it was enough for a first down. So fresh set of downs here for the Cougars. 1st and 10. Going to drop back this time for the pass. Looking to air it out down the right side. Wide open receiver. No one around, and it's a touchdown. 35-yard touchdown pass.
Number 2 is Bassick.
And that's going to be Braden Charbonneau, I believe, with the touchdown reception from Darian Bassick. And it's 6-0 Cougars.
Yeah, just a totally blown coverage there as he was wide open down the field, and still have to hit him with a nice pass to find him there in the open area, but he was wide open and takes it to the house, makes no mistake, and he takes it across the line for the first score of the game.
Well, that was nicely done. Bassick hadn't just aired it out, put some nice air under it, and the receiver really didn't have to do all that much to adjust to that ball, and no defenders nearby. Unfortunately, that extra point attempt is blocked, so it's going to be Cougars 6, Waterloo nothing. 9:52 to play here in the first quarter.
Good job by the Cougars, though, opening up the scoring there. As we saw yesterday, the first score was really important in that game for the Predators at the varsity level. And this level here, looks like the Cougars are in good shape. Good opening drive from them as they score on the first time they touch the football.
That's right. It was an entertaining game yesterday, wasn't it? Boy, oh boy, varsity action. And you really see how well they air it out at the next level. And I mean, we got a taste of it right here at the junior varsity level, but it's amazing when you go up to that next level. You just see the skill set is just so strong, and it's great to see football as it grows through the ranks, and the talent that we have that's on display is really, really impressive. Cougars kicking it off here to Waterloo, and bobbled a little bit, and they do go with the reverse. Again, that's 2 kickoffs in a row. Pretty decent return there for Waterloo. And Waterloo, the Predators, going to start this drive off at their own, looks like it's about their 37-yard line.
That was a low directional kick on that one. Not too much air behind it, but the bounce as well. They were able to corral that one in and then pass it off, and a nice return still there by Kean Johnson.
First and 10 now for the Preds, their second offensive possession. They'll go shotgun. They'll clear out the backfield. Looking down that left side, and the intended pass a little bit high for the intended receiver over on that far side, and it falls and sails incomplete.
Yeah, just through the hands of 83 Alex Suley as he was all alone there and was able to make some room for himself, but the quarterback just couldn't hit him with the pass.
And Suley's pretty big target too, you can see from up here, but just a little bit out of his reach. And we'll bring up a 2nd and 10 for Waterloo. One deep man, the backfield behind the quarterback. They'll clear the backfield. A little bit of a low snap, but able to corral it, but pressure, and going to get taken down after Matt Lynn forced to scramble out of the pocket. It's going to be a gain of about 5 or 6 yards. Going to be short of that first down marker. And second drive in a row now, Waterloo is going to be forced to punt this one away.
That's good pressure on the quarterback there. He was trying to make a scramble to get those extra yards, but there was somebody who wrapped him up around the ankles. I mean, one of the guys finished it off for the Cougars, but somebody had wrapped him up around the ankles and just tripped him up enough to take him down.
This is going to be the second punt for Waterloo. Again, kicking into the wind, caught cleanly by the Cougars, and they've got some room over here on the near side, and a couple blockers out front as well, trying to get the edge and finally forced out of bounds. A nice return for the Cougars, Logan Stefina. Chatham-Kent, fantastic field position here after that nice return by Stefina on their second offensive drive.
You can see if you watch back and watch how close the defenders were right away, even when he just caught the ball, the pressure that was on him immediately. For him to find that much room out there was pretty impressive. Paving the way was Tyler Szymanski, number 8, as he was running right in front of him. Again, the Cougars doing a great job of having that lead block out for the for the guy with the ball who's running with it.
So after that fine return by Stefina, the Cougars 1st and 10 in Waterloo territory. They're going to go to the air right away. Bassick hadn't clutching, and no, he decides to tuck it. He's got nothing and had pressure in his face. A nice run there by Bassick Haddon, and a pickup of about 5 or 6 yards. he looked like he wanted to go deep and then had some pressure in his face and tucked it and made a positive gain.
We talk about making something out of nothing there. It looked like he was going to toss the ball and then clutched it again and was able to turn into a runner there and still pick up positive yardage there and not lose the football either. So good move by him. He had to shift it over to his left arm to block it out and protect the ball, and did everything he could to make something out of that.
So that brings up a 2nd and 4. Bassacaden's going to turn and hand it off right up the middle. Good, strong running there from Stefina. And that's going to be enough for a first down, gain of about 5 or 6 there, and they'll move the sticks.
Yeah, and that's all credit to Bassacaden again, just on that last play when he was able to make something out of nothing, turn it into a positive gain about 6 yards, and that paved the way for them to be able to keep the ball on the ground, punch it up the middle for a first down as they continue to march forward.
Good blocking there up front from the offensive line. Looked like Stefina wasn't even touched till he got about 4 yards deep into Waterloo territory. 1st and 10, Bassacaden going to look out to the right side. Got a receiver there. Nice snag. And then a nice spin move away from the defender. Looking to make his way to the end zone. Going to be short, but nice play there by, boy, we're going to look here, Brett Wiggerson.
Yeah, it's impressive that he was able to go to that side of the field as well, because when he caught the ball, he was moving towards us this way, and he was coming towards the ball, grabbed it, was able to turn around, and as you mentioned, nice spin move to get away from a defender, make some room for himself out there, and another first down.
Yeah, Brett Wiggerson with the nice spin move, going from inside to outside, and then use that speed to run away from the defender. And the Cougars are 1st and goal now. They're going to hand it off, trying the left side. Looks like good defense there from Waterloo. Going to be short. That was Szymanski with the carry in tight, and looks like he's going to be maybe about a yard short of that goal line.
Yeah, I think he was trying to use those goalposts there as an extra blocker, just trying to trip up some defenders there, but just before he could get there, he was tied up, and about 3 of the Waterloo Predators there took him down just shy of the goal line.
2nd and goal here from the 1 yard line. And they're going to go under center with the quarterback sneak. We have a flag on the play. They're going to say he's into the end zone, but we'll wait for the call on the flag. Bassacaden under center was able to push it across the goal line. Oh, that's goal. That touchdown's going to stand. Waterloo lined up offside, so obviously the Cougars declined it, and Bassacaden in for the touchdown.
Yeah, good for him. I mean, when you hear an offside call, you have to wonder right away. Usually you think it might be the offense, especially on a play like that. You want to get that good block out front, so it looked like Waterloo maybe just anticipating that same play and just got a bit of an early jump on it. So the Cougars take another score for an early lead here.
And they'll go for 2 after the failed extra point on the first score. They're going to hand it off, try the middle of that defense, but nothing doing. Good defense there from the Predators. And they stop the Cougars. So for the 2nd straight score, the Cougars not able to add the extra point or 2. And now lead 12-0 with 5:25 to play here in the first quarter.
There's still a couple of big scores for them. I mean, getting into the end zone, the first one wide open was Braden Charbonneau as he made that nice catch, and then this time punching it right up the gut, Darian Bassacaden. So showing they can score a number of ways as well so far in this game.
And again, that touchdown by Bassacaden was set up on that big passing play to Brett Wiggerson, and was stopped just short of the goal line, about 5-6 yards short of the goal line, and then they were eventually able to punch it in 2 plays later. This Cougars offense, 2 possessions, 2 touchdowns, looking pretty sharp.
Yeah, they're showing why they're 5-0-1 right now, and they're looking very strong out there, and you expect that they'll have a decent future as well if these guys continue on and play at the varsity level even further.
Stefina going to kick this one off. Low line drive kick. It's going to bounce, and right between the 2 return men, Waterloo going to retreat and pick this one up deep in their own territory. Look like pretty good coverage there from the Cougars. And nice special teams work. Waterloo going to be forced to start this one deep in their own territory.
Yeah, no kidding. That just went right through both. It's one of those instances where you see both guys looking at each other, and somebody's got to make that call about who's going to grab the ball. Nice low directional kick. When it's bouncing like that, though, too, it's difficult to pick up in the first place, but when you got to run back and grab it off the ground, too, that's really going to pin yourself in some tough territory back there.
Waterloo going to be forced to start this one off at the 15-yard line. Very deep in their own territory after that nice kickoff from the Cougars and great special teams coverage. Matt Lynn going shotgun again. They clear the backfield. He's going to put this one in the air down the left side. Got a receiver over there, but good coverage from the Cougars. That was Christian Burgoon on coverage there on that far side, step for step, able even to make a diving attempt at that football as it falls incomplete.
Yeah, he was actually closer to the ball than the wide receiver who was out there, so it was great coverage by him and anticipation as well. Quarterback looks like, again, we mentioned he has an arm. He can chuck it down the field, but maybe just not quite as accurate as what he's hoping for. So if he finds a man breaking down there, it could be a big play, but at the same time, there will be some opportunities to pick one off.
2nd and 10. They'll go shotgun again, put this one there. Looking on the near side here. Doesn't see anything he likes, decides to tuck and run, but nowhere to go. Defender right there. They're going to blow the whistle before he's taken to the ground just for player safety reasons. Tyler Szymanski able to make the tackle. He'll get the credit on that. And the Cougars defense extremely strong here. Another third straight 2 and out for Waterloo.
Yeah, heads up play there by Szymanski to collapse in there and just chase after the quarterback after he found a little bit of room there. I think Szymanski was the only guy who was going to hit him. There was some open field in front of him, but was able to pin him in deep and really no gain there on that play when really it looked like he was going to find some room down the field, but the Cougars reacting quickly as things changed on the field there.
This Cougars defense, very, very stout so far. Waterloo without a first down yet in this football game. Punting this one away. Into the wind. 2 return men back for the Cougars, and then 1 third up man, and looks like they had some troubles on the snap, and the Cougars jump on it. Even if they don't recover it, it's a turnover on downs regardless. And now we've got an injured Waterloo Predators player down on the football field. The injured Waterloo player, Keon Johnson, able to walk off under his own power after being tended to by the trainer, so that's always good to see. Now the Cougars take over deep in Waterloo territory. 1st and 10. We have a flag on the play. They'll go to the arrow, and it falls incomplete. We'll see what the flag is here from the official. Came out early in that play.
Yeah, it looked like he was intended for Szymanski there on the near side. He's just outside of his reach.
And we understand the flag was an offside against Waterloo. That was a 5-yard penalty lined up in the neutral zone. So 1st and 5 now. Bassick-Haddon going to drop back to pass. He's got a receiver in the end zone, and it's complete. Touchdown, Cougars. Looks like that's Szymanski, Tyler Szymanski with the touchdown reception. And the Cougars, their third straight score and their 3rd straight possession, go up now, adding to their lead, 18-0.
It looks like almost the same play that they had drawn up in the last one when Waterloo was pulled offside on that play, so they were able to capitalize on it this time. Szymanski, the first time you could see him hitting his hands together on that penalty, too. He wanted the touchdown the first time, gets a second opportunity, and makes no mistake about it this time.
6-yard touchdown reception from Darian Bassick-Haddon. And Stefina is going to line up for the extra point. They do have one blocked already in this game. This one low and blocked again. So it will remain 18-0. Cougars have yet to convert on the extra point. 2 extra points they've gone for, and then a 3rd time they've gone for the 2-point conversion. All 3 have failed, and that's how we end up at the 18-0 score. But impressive offense here from the Cougars. 3 offensive possessions, 3 majors. And on the flip side, the defense has been tremendous. 3 straight 2-and-outs by Waterloo.
And I'm not even sure there's been any penalties against the offense either for the Cougars out here so far. They really done a good job of keeping it clean, and every time we see the flag go down, the Predators are the ones who are getting pushed back, so especially in their own territory down deep there. So the Cougars doing a good job of forcing some of those penalties as well, as the Predators just trying everything they can to get an extra jump.
We're still in the first quarter here, 4:02 to play. Still a lot of time left in this first half. Tee it up again. Stefina going to kick this one off. Good line drive kick. And caught on the one hopper, and they'll go with the reverse again. Cougars, though, tremendous special teams coverage. Great job. And Waterloo going to take over inside their own 30. It's going to be about their 20, maybe about their 25-yard line. 1st and 10.
Yeah, I've seen that, 3 times now that the Predators have gone with that reverse back there. This time Caleb Spurgeon grabbing the ball as he tried to turn it up the field. But again, you mentioned coverage by the Cougars is just outstanding so far.
First and 10, Waterloo. They're going to hand it off, keep it on the ground. Good job there. The interior defense of the Cougars swallowing up the running back was Edwin Acosta. Acosta just absolutely enveloped the running back, and that was a loss of about a yard.
Yeah, both sides of the ball so far, Cougars is looking dominant in that defense, whether it's special teams, returning on those returns, or even now, too, you mentioned. I don't know if we've seen a first down for the Predators yet.
Matt Lynn going to drop back to pass this time down that left side. He does have a receiver open. Good tackle there on that far side. That was Christian Burgoon in on the coverage, making the tackle. And it's going to be short of the first down marker. Good job. No yards after the catch there. Burgoon coming in and making a pretty good hit right away. And now we have an injured Cougar down on a knee on that far side.
Yeah, he just wrapped him up and pushed him back right away, as you mentioned. And when you look at how close that ball is to where it would be a first down territory, that's a big stop for the Cougars.
And that was Burgoon that made the tackle, and now he's over on the sidelines. Back to action now, and they will say it was enough for a first down for Waterloo, their first of this football game. Lynn taking that snap, dropping back down, looking the middle of the field. Ooh, overthrew his intended receiver in the middle of the field there. Had a man open. Looked like it was Caleb Sargent, but just a little bit too high for the intended receiver.
Good velocity on it, nice spin on it though too. If that would have been about a foot lower, I think it would have hit him right in stride. He would have had some room to turn up the field, and if they can just get that lined up, you got to watch out, because that quarterback, if Matt Lynn gets his timing right, he's got a cannon on him.
2nd and 10 now, Waterloo. Low snap. Lynn able to get down and snag it. Oh, intended coming across the middle. His big receiver able to just get one mid on it, but couldn't pull it in. Looked like that was 99 for Waterloo, Grayson Weber.
And once again, he's really, the ball comes out of his hands so nice, and if it hits his receiver in stride, you got to think they're going to make a nice catch and turn it up the field. But once again, too, the coverage is great for the Cougars. They've got a guy on him right away, and a couple of near almost interceptions for them on defense.
Waterloo going to punt this one away now. 3 men back for the Cougars. Bit of a low snap, corralled, and now that's going to hop. It's going to hop forward. Cougars going to jump on it, and we've got a no yards flag coming out right away. Not sure who was able to pick that up on the It looked like it was Braden Charbonneau, 84, who does have a touchdown in this football game. And then, of course, the flag for the no yards going to be tacked on to the end of that. So the Cougars will start this drive at the Waterloo 51-yard line. Bassick-Haddon with the empty backfield takes the snap. He's going to roll to his right. Looked to throw for a second, but decided to tuck and run. And now he's got some room down that right side, being chased by the Waterloo defense, and they're not going to catch him. Touchdown, Bassick-Haddon. 51-yard touchdown run on what was supposed to be a passing play.
Yeah, that scramble turned into quite the run down the field, and you can see how quick his feet start moving. Once he decides to turn into a runner, he looks down the field, didn't quite see what he was looking for, but there was plenty of room on the outside there, and he had a teammate running right beside him, too, that if anybody's going to get close to him, he was going to have a blocker the whole way. So they're doing a great job. We're almost pairing up on these runs where the Cougars have one guy running in front of the guy with the ball, and they're able to clear away for him. And that time, too, I think the intimidation was a little bit of a factor down the sideline there, too.
Yeah, Darian Bassick-Haddon brings a bit of hammer to that quarterback position. He's got some good size, and we've seen him through the various levels of Cougars football. Always been an effective runner, and almost, I think, fools defenders a little bit with his speed and quickness as well for his size. He's going to throw that one to the end zone, but it falls incomplete. Looked like it was off the hands of the intended receiver on that far side. Looked like it was maybe Trevor Lawton who was sliding to try to make that grab, but it falls incomplete. So with that failed two-point attempt, the Cougars now lead this one 24-0 with 1:39 to play in the first quarter.
Yeah, and every time they're touching the ball, they're taking it in for a score. And if the worst thing that's happening for the offense is they can't convert afterwards, I mean, that's not a big deal. You can work on that fine-tuning later. For now, just keep finding the end zone, and you're going to keep padding that scoreboard.
So far, a very impressive performance here from the Cougars. They have scored on every single offensive possession now. 4 touchdowns, and they've failed on all 4 of the extra point attempts. 2 singles and 2 two-point conversion attempts. And that's how we end up at 24-0. Stefina kicking this one off. It's a low line drive kick. It hits the up man for Waterloo, and now the Cougars jump on it. It's going to be Chatham-Kent football.
That ball traveled just far enough, too. Just over that. It's just traveled enough the distance it needed to. And as you mentioned, that looked like a bobble kick, but they were able to recover that. So everything going wrong for the Predators, everything going right for the Cougars as they're able to jump on that ball on the scramble.
Yeah, one of the up men stuck his arm out on that low line drive kick. And then as soon as they touch it, that ball either goes 10 yards or somebody touches it, and it's a live ball. And L.J. Hines, number 44 for the Cougars, able to jump on it. And now Chatham-Kent has the football back. 1st and 10 on the Waterloo side of midfield. They'll start at the 54-yard line. Bassick-Haddon going to drop back, scanning the field to pass. He's going to go deep down the right side. Got a receiver over there. Oh, a great jumping catch. Beautiful completion. Into double coverage. Brett Wiggerson with the catch. That's his second big snag of this football game, but we'll wait on the flag.
Well, just based on the referee's body language out here, looks like this one might be coming back. And based on the amount of time that Bassick-Haddon had back there, you have to wonder it will be a holding call against the offense.
Yeah, that's a shame. Erasing that beautiful throw and catch. Bassick-Haddon just aired it out, and Brett Wiggerson climbed the ladder to grab it, getting up high, both hands on the football, and then pulled down eventually, but that big passing play erased by that holding penalty. Cougars now 1st and 20 at their own 46-yard line. Bassick-Haddon goes shotgun. They're going to fake the handoff, then swing it out to Stefina. who's got some space down the right side, shakes one tackler, then takes another for a ride. Stefina, good hard running there, and 1st and 20, no problem. That's enough for a first down.
Yeah, what a run by him. And you could see, too, the high stepping on the far side is keeping his feet up high so the defenders couldn't wrap him up on his way down the sideline, and able to easily come up with that, erase that 10-yard penalty and come up with a first down on that play.
First and 10 now, Cougars at Waterloo's 39-yard line. Going to look to air it out down the left side. Got a receiver out there. Oh, no! Brett Wiggerson had that one. That time a perfect pass, but Wiggerson unable to pull it in. It was right on his hands. Jeez, 2 plays earlier, he makes the extremely tough grab, but this time much easier, but just unable to pull it in.
It looked like he had it and lost it. It was just there, too, and it's one of those circumstances you got to secure the football, then turn up the field. And it looks like he just bobbled it just a little bit, but that was a nice on-point throw there from the quarterback as well, as he was a good position, and he timed it out really well.
Yeah, I think that was probably the best throw we've seen from Bassett-Haddon so far in this football game. Beautifully thrown ball. He's going to turn around and hand it off this time. And nice blocking up front and some crafty running there in the middle. Brandon Benoit. And that's going to be enough for a fresh set of downs on 2nd and 10. Picks up 11.
Yeah, he made a couple quick cuts in there from his left to his right and then just zigzagging his way through the defenders.
So that's the last play of the first quarter. At the end of 1, the Cougars 24, Waterloo no score. Chatham-Kent, very impressive so far in this football game. Junior varsity football action on your TV. Second quarter now getting underway. Bassett-Haddon for the Cougars under center. He's going to drop back, looking for a receiver down the right side. Oh, and he's going to throw that one well behind his intended receiver. Bassett-Haddon rolling out to his right, looking for a man down the field, but no chance at a completion there.
Second down is for the Cougars at the Waterloo 27.
That's still quick thinking by him and a quick decision after that. Pocket was collapsing around him, and there's some defenders right in his face. He was able to roll out to his right, come right up to the line of scrimmage, and pass that one off before he crossed the line, too. So even though that throw went a little bit short, it's better than getting tackled in the backfield there.
Yeah, that pass was intended for Tyler Shumansky, who had a step on the defender. 2nd and 10 now. They'll go shotgun. They'll fake the handoff. Bassett-Haddon rolling to his left, looking down the field, throws it. Oh my goodness, on the ricochet, nearly completed. That ball thrown directly to a Waterloo player. I think the defender was surprised, and it bounced right off of his shoulder and then was nearly completed by Trevor Lawton, who was the intended receiver on that far side.
Yeah, that pass looked like it was intended for the Predators, and they just weren't able to hold on to it. So Bassett-Haddon, a rare mistake from him so far in this game, and the Cougars still able to come away unscathed on that.
So that brings up a 3rd and 10 now. But amazing that pass was nearly completed on the ricochet before eventually falling incomplete. So that brings up a 3rd and 10 now for Chatham-Kent. 2 backs in the backfield, I formation. And Bassett-Haddon's going to fake the handoff, then roll to his right, looking for a receiver. He's got one out there, and it's completed. This time to Shumansky, who's going to get into the end zone for the touchdown. 27-yard touchdown reception for Tyler Shumansky from Darian Bassett-Haddon. And the Cougars score for their 5th straight possession.
Yeah, really nice play there for the Cougars, able to pull one out, and you just were starting to wonder if they were going to be able to score on every possession so far in this game, but they pulled one out there. Shumansky with a nice catch and run, and Bassett-Haddon as well. You know, they lined up so tight in the formation there to the center that you were going to wonder if they're going to try to punch it through or just run the clock down a little bit, but able to find some room out the sideline there.
That's Shumansky's second touchdown catch of this football game, and the Cougars going for two now. Bassett-Haddon lining up. Oh, the pass intended for Trevor Lawton, but knocked down by the defender for Waterloo. Good defense there, and the Cougars unable to convert on the two-point attempt. So now Chatham-Kent leads this one 30-0. They have scored on all 5 of their offensive possessions, and very, very impressive form as they lead the visiting Predators.
And the defense taking it away as well for the Cougars. They're doing a great job in their own right. I mean, I think they've held the Predators to only maybe 1 first down so far in this game, and the clock, just keeps on ticking down slowly in this one just because of how many times the Cougars are scoring the ball, and on defense as well, coming up with a lot of big stops.
Very, very impressive so far here for the home team. 10:55 to play in the first half. Line drive kick again. We'll see if they go with the reverse again for Waterloo. And they do. Gonna look to get the corner and run it outside.
Number 24, Caleb Sargent on the return.
Caleb Sargent with the return there.
First out of bounds just past his own 30-yard line.
And now we've got a late flag.
Flag out here.
Obviously, this is going to be something to do with a verbal exchange. There you go. Apparently, they both had something to say. Both players involved had something to say. So they are offsetting penalties, each team getting the objectionable conduct call.
Waterloo will take over this possession at their own 32-yard line.
First and 10, Waterloo. And they complete the pass, the right side. And that was Sargent again who had that return on the kickoff. And they're going to say no flag on that play. There initially was a flag down, and the officials say there is no flag on the play. So that gain of 9 yards will stand. 2nd and 1 here for Waterloo. They'll go shotgun. Hand it off. Try the middle of that defense. Good run here from Waterloo. Their biggest play so far this football game. That's plenty for a first down. Good run there from Caleb Spurgeon.
Yeah, they're really able to find some room there. And you can see they're making a change to the defensive line there now for the Cougars. Trying to shore things up as they try to limit the damage.
Oh, now we got a flag coming out. This flag's going to go against the Cougars as they team up finally to make the tackle. We got a couple flags. The initial flag, I believe, was for hands to the face on one of the defenders who was trying to shed a blocker. Got his hands up into the face mask. So the initial flag will be against the Cougars, but then a second flag did come in.
Just based on the way the tackle went down, I wonder if that's going to be unnecessary roughness on the defense there too. There was about 3 or 4 Cougars wrapping the guy up, and saw some just a little bit of roughness as they're taking him to the ground.
Well, there's the call. 2 unnecessary roughness face mask calls going against Christian Burgoon. So that's 30 yards in penalties on that single play, and Waterloo, their best field position so far of this football game.
After that big first down for them too, so they're really starting to move the chains down there, and that's one of the first really big mistakes we've seen from this Cougars team.
Now we're all set to resume now after that 30 yards in penalties against the Cougars. Lynn's going to drop back, and we've got a flag right off the hop. They blow this one dead.
Flag now.
Procedure call against Waterloo. That's going to be a 5-yard penalty.
Procedure call goes
Yeah, there's some motion before the snap there, and you have to wonder if that's what they were called for there. 83 talking to the official to see what he did wrong on that play.
So now 1st and 15 at about the Cougar 25-yard line. .9:38 and counting to play here in the first half. The Cougars lead 30-0, but Waterloo threatening here for the first time. Lynn's going to drop back to pass, scanning the field. He's going to go to that right side. Oh, beautiful pass. Hit his intended receiver right in the hands, Grayson Weber, but just couldn't hold on to it.
Yeah, not getting any help from his wide receiver there. Matt Lynn with another nice toss, and this time right on target. Grayson Weber just dropped that one, and he's going to be thinking about that one going forward, especially as that would have been put them in a really good position toward the goal line there as they're still looking for their first score of the game.
So that brings up 2nd and 15. Waterloo going to go with one back. Now they're going to clear out the backfield. Everyone goes in motion. Lynn's going to toss out to the right side. Got some space over there. The intended receiver. Oh, and he's got some speed too. Finally wrestled to the ground. Oh, and they're going to say he's into the end zone. For Caleb Sargent, number 24. Nice job after making that grab. He just turned on the jets and blew past a couple of defenders and fought his way into the end zone.
Yeah, they had a couple lead guys going forward there, drawing away some coverage as they were coming across the middle of the field. The wide receivers out wide there, especially number 99 again, Grayson Weber going out there. And Sargent with a nice grab and then was able to push his way in there just the last couple of yards to fight for that touchdown.
So they're going to line up for 2 here. Drop back to pass, looking on that left side, and that pass is very low and incomplete. So the 2-point convert fails, but Waterloo Region Predators get on the board here with 9:02 to play in the first half, and now trail the Cougars 30-6.
Well, just the pace of this game, the way it's been going too. I mean, with 9:02 left in the first half, there's plenty of time left in this game. I mean, the Cougars have been so efficient with their scoring drives too that it gives the Predators plenty of time left in this one to climb their way back in if they can keep up like that. And that was, again, you think about that 30-yard penalty against the Cougars, that really helped out the Predators and put them in that position. So they have to tighten things up defensively going forward.
Yeah, one of the rare times, I don't know if I've ever seen 2 face masks called against the same player on the very same play, but that's exactly what happened. And that gave the Predators a big chunky yardage, as you mentioned, 30 yards in penalties on that one play, helping to lead to that Waterloo score. So for the first time here, we'll see the Predators kick off to the Cougars after a score. Looks like they're setting up for a directional kick on that right side. Caught cleanly by the Cougars. Good job there by one of the upmen. That was number 52 catching that cleanly. Jordan Alderdice. Good job there. Good hands. Secured that one, and the Cougars going to have great field position to start.
Yeah, you can see that they had somebody holding the ball there, too. It's just so breezy out there that you don't know where the ball is going to go. So good job by him, too, to keep an eye on that ball, grab it, and secure it. And you can see he almost was content to just stay in place there and take the ball down. But when he saw a little bit of room, was able to fight for a couple yards.
After that Cougars timeout, getting back underway here. Bassick heading under center, and they're going to hand it off, trying that right side. Then they're going to cut it back and then come back again. Good crafty running again there from Brandon Benoit. Pick up of about 11 or 12 yards on that first down play, and another first down for the Cougars offense.
Yeah, I think he's heating up as the game goes on. It seemed like he was caught a little bit early in that one in this game so far. Wasn't able to find too much room early, but since then he's just really showing that quickness and that speed. He's able to make some nice cuts in the field and find some of those holes. His offensive line doing a good job setting up some blocks downfield for him.
1st and 10. Bassick heading under center again, and they're going to hand it off. That time the carry by number 22, Logan Stefina. Oh, and now we've got a late flag coming in here after the play. I think this one's going against Chatham-Kent. I think this might be against... Yeah, objectionable conduct against Stefina. That's what I thought might have been the call. Looked like when he got up after he was tackled, kind of spiked the ball down maybe at the feet of the defender. And the official standing right there. Cougars got to kind of regroup themselves here a little bit. They've had a couple of penalties go against them here. And yeah, you've got a 30-6 lead, but you've got to maintain your composure.
Yeah, just so much time left on the clock, too, at this point. You don't want to fall apart. It's too early in the game to do that. And, yeah, you do have that big lead, but at the same time, the Predators starting to show some life.
Not the cleanest handoff there from Bassick heading to Szymanski. Good defense from Waterloo. Short gain. They're going to call that a pickup of about 2 or 3 yards.
Yeah, Szymanski, you can see at the end of that play, though, too. I think the whistle blown, so the Predators may have been letting up a little bit at the end there, but Szymanski was still on his feet, and he was still fighting for extra yards. I think they called him on the forward progress there, and just wasn't making any room until he tore free there, but still, he's staying on his feet. He's a kind of elusive player like that.
With that breeze blowing, I know the wind's not blowing the right way, but it almost smells like we're getting a whiff of Ribfest right now from Tecumseh Park. Cougars going to line up to punt this one away, and do just get it away. Good-looking kick, too. There was some pressure there. Now that ball bobbled by the return man, and that's going to be Caleb Sargent. Good job on special teams, wrapped up. And first in on the tackle was Braden Charbonneau, and then had a couple of friends come in to help clean it up, but Charbonneau initially with the contact, and good job there on special teams for the Cougars. First time that they've had to punt the football away.
Yeah, Charbonneau again doing a great job there. As you mentioned, initial contact up high and was able to slip all the way down and tie up his ankles a little bit just until his teammate could come along and finish the job.
After that Cougars timeout, set to resume action. Cougars leading the visiting Waterloo Region Predators 30-6. Lynn going to drop back, pass it out to that right side. He has his intended receiver who was initially wrapped up. And again, Cougars defense is just swarming. Grayson Weber with the catch, but not going anywhere after making that grab. Good job by that Cougars defense swarming. Szymanski led the way, along with a couple of other defenders who joined in after you had him wrapped up. Loss of 1 yard on that passing play.
Yeah, good job by them. As you mentioned, a big 99 grabbed that ball, too. He's a big guy. He can carry his own through a couple of guys, but there were about 3 or 4 defenders who knocked him down.
2nd and 11 now for Waterloo. Bit of a high snap. Lynn able to pull it in. Got a receiver out there to the right. Sliding catch. And it's going to be short of the first down. It's going to bring up a 3rd and about 2 yards. And I've got to think that Waterloo's going for it here. 5:42 and counting to play here in the first half.
30-yard line of Waterloo. Bring up 3rd down and 1.
Big play here for Waterloo if they can maintain possession of this football, get something going before the end of the half. Gonna drop back to pass, got a receiver over there on the right. Oh, it's deflected by the defender, and it lands in the hands of another receiver who was in the area. Wow, the catch made by Keon Johnson went off of a hand of a defender of the Cougars in the area and then deflects to the second receiver. They had two receivers in the same area. Almost looked like maybe some confusion from the receivers, but it works out for Waterloo.
Yeah, originally intended for Grayson Weber. They were able to catch that ball, as you mentioned. Defenders with a quick jump.
Well, the Waterloo Region Predators dropping back to pass there. Matt Lynn didn't see anybody open, so decides to tuck and run, and a good gain. Picks up 9 yards on that play. First time, I think, that we've seen any space for Matt Lynn to tuck it and run. Did a good job there. Brings up a 2nd and 1. Lynn takes the snap, scans the field. He's looking in the middle of the field. He's got a man, and a nice passing catch. Finally dragged down, but a nice big gain there for Waterloo. And now starting to get some things rolling on offense, but we've got a flag. This one might be coming back.
Yeah,
and this is going to be coming back, this flag against Waterloo.
Yeah, you watch the Waterloo players out there, and you know it's coming back because they're not even marching up the field. So this one's going to come back, unfortunately, for them. That was a nice catch, though, by Alex Sully right in the middle of the field, and he was turning up. Finally, and we talked about this earlier, Matt Lynn, if he starts connecting on those throws, and that's what's happening now. He was just a little bit out of tune earlier, and now he's really hitting his target.
Yeah, it's a holding call. So that's a 10-yard penalty. And that erases a nice big passing play for Waterloo. Now going to be in a 2nd and 12 position. Then goes shotgun, empty backfield now. Dropping back, looking for a man. He's got some pressure in the pocket. Decides to run out of it. Good job by the defense there. And Matt Lynn's going to be short of the first down. Tackle looks like was made by number 32 for the Cougars, Jude Pearson. It's going to be a 3rd and 5 now for Waterloo.
Yeah, you could tell it wasn't his first option there. Matt Lynn was looking to throw the ball, and even when he started running too, he was trying to fight for every yard that he could get there to make it manageable on 3rd down here.
Third and 5. Lynn dropping back, looking at this left side. He's got a man, and he's got the reception. That's going to be enough for a first down. Oh, no. Tyler Shumansky. Oh, boy. Tyler Shumansky's going to get flagged here. He didn't like the whistle being blown as Shumansky ripped the ball from the receiver. So after the whistle was blown, Shumansky spiked the ball to the ground. He's going to get flagged for that. And this is going against the Cougars.
Yeah, there was a quick whistle there as the forward progress was stopped. And then Shumansky, as you mentioned, ripped the ball out. Came back, spiked the ball out of frustration. And I was seeing that already in this game a couple times. But the lack of discipline somewhat from these players.
So now 1st and 10, Waterloo. They're marching. 2nd straight offensive possession here. Waterloo's got some momentum. Lynn hands it off, and great play by the Cougars defense. Good job by that D. Breaking through the line, and it's Shumansky who makes the tackle. Looked like he had a little extra motivation on that play.
And that is the right way to deal with frustration there. Show it on the field like he did just there. Breaking through that offensive line. You could tell he's a man on a mission. He was going for the ball right there, too. He tried to rip it out again, but just managed to take the defender down emphatically as well.
Looked like a jailbreak there. 2 or 3 Cougar defenders blasting through the Waterloo line. Makes it 2nd and 14 here for the Preds. Lynn scanning the field, looking on the right side, and it's intercepted.
Number 84, Braden Charbonneau on that pass.
Braden Charbonneau comes away with the pick. Nice coverage there. And Charbonneau with the interception. The Cougars going to take over on offense.
Well, you never know what you need for that little spark, and in this case, it turned out to be, I think, the players thought that they should have had the ball, so they went out and took it the right way. And Szymanski, again, on that play, to his credit, he was pressuring the quarterback. He pushed somebody right back into him pretty much, so forced that throw maybe a little earlier than he would have liked to, and the Cougars come up with the football.
Injury timeout there. Good to see the injured Waterloo player walking off under his own power. So 1st and 10 after that interception by the Cougars defense. Bassett-Haddon takes the snap, and it's a quarterback keeper. He's got some blockers out in front of him. Nice hard run by Darian Bassett-Haddon. Picks up about 16 yards on that run. And a first down. Nicely designed play there. Couple blockers out in front, and good hard running from Darian Bassett-Haddon.
Hard fought 16 yards there too right at the end, especially as he was wrapped up. But yeah, those blockers again for the Cougars, they're doing a great job opening up some lanes, and that time for their quarterback because he kept the ball.
1st and 10 now. Bassett-Haddon's going to hand it off. Ooh, big hit there from Waterloo. Good defense. Nowhere to go that time for Szymanski. No gain. Going to be tackled, though. They're going to say maybe about a foot, but pretty much tackled at the line of scrimmage. Good defense there from Waterloo. Second and 10. They're going to fake the handoff, throw it out to this near side to Wiggerson, and he's got some space, and he's trying to get away from the defenders, finally tracked down from behind. Gain of about 27 yards on that passing play. Pretty straightforward passing play. Bassett-Haddon just turns, throws it to Wiggerson, and then Wiggerson just runs away from the defenders.
Yeah, so close to the sidelines there. All it would have taken just a quick shove to push him out of bounds, but the defender there caught flat-footed, and Wiggerson does a nice job of turning up the field and taking the room that he did have down there and turning that into a really nice gain.
Some big catches in this one for Brett Wiggerson. 1st and 10, Cougars. 22-yard line to Waterloo. Bassett-Haddon's going to keep this one. Got nice blocking out on that right side. Good hard running by big number 2. Taken down inside the 10-yard line. Cougars going to have it now, 1st and goal.
Another nice design run for that quarterback. We mentioned before he has some experience as a running back too, so comfortable with the ball in his hands on the ground and able to find some room there. This whole team, it just looks like a complete unit out there when they're blocking for him too. They're all just doing a great job, and everybody's doing their job on the field.
Yeah, that's certainly an element that Bassett-Haddon brings to that quarterback position, isn't it? Is, as you mentioned, as he's come through the ranks, he's played running back, and now at the quarterback position at the JV level, you're comfortable as a coaching staff calling running plays for your quarterback. So he can air it out. We've seen that. But you've got absolutely no reason why you can't call running plays with your quarterback with the experience that big number 2 has.
Yeah, and it's not just a matter of scrambling either. It's all these design run plays that they have for him, and seem to find a lot of success with that so far. A couple of big gains for him in this drive alone.
We had Waterloo call a timeout there. Water break for these players, but it's a beautiful day out here at the Chatham-Kent Community Athletic Complex. Beautiful night, I should say. Breezy, and it's fairly coolish, I'd say in the low to mid-20s.
Yeah, it's definitely dropped since last week. I mean, it's a distinct temperature change since what we had earlier.
They're going to hand it off up the middle and in for the touchdown. Number 22, Logan Stefina, his first touchdown of this football game. And it's a 5-yard touchdown run for Stefina. The Cougars now go up 36-6.
And he was dragging somebody in around his ankles there as he was going across the line, but hardly even touched there as he was coming across. So good job again. Those blockers up front doing a lot of good work.
We'll see if the Cougars go for the single or the 2-point. Looks like they're going to go for the 2-point conversion here. Have yet to convert after a major. They're going to pitch it out to Stefina. He's going to try to get the corner, but he's caught from behind. Good defense from Waterloo. And they keep the Cougars from converting that 2-point convert. And so the score will remain 36-6 with 1:51 to play in the first half. Cougars kicking off after that touchdown from Stefina. Line drive kick, good snag there from Big 99 for Waterloo, who runs into a pile and then escapes, but finally dragged down. But Grayson Weber, good grab there. We've seen him involved in the offense as a receiver. That's decent field position there for Waterloo. They'll get the football. 1:43 to play here in the first half. They'll start just inside their own 40-yard line.
Yeah, it was a nice hard directional kick there too, so he grabbed that one out quickly. Grayson Weber turned it upfield. He was knocking a couple defenders off him until somebody finally grabbed his arm and spun him to the ground.
Oh, we understand. Unnecessary roughness is the call against the return man. Grayson Weber, they're going to say he grabbed the face mask of one of the defenders. A 15-yard penalty. They're going to march that back on Waterloo.
First down for Waterloo at their own 24.
First and 10 from their own 24-yard line. That's where the Preds will start here. Lynn's going to take that snap, looking over the right side. He's got a receiver who avoids from going out of bounds and dances back from that sideline, but is dragged down. Not much after the catch. Good defense there from the Cougars. Looks like it's a pickup of about 4 yards.
Yeah, they're trying to create something there on the far side with little time left here in the half, as they're trying to eat into that lead that the Cougars have built up over the first 2 quarters here.
We have an injured Cougar taking a knee on the field, so we'll have a stoppage in play here with 1:32 to play in the first half. Cameron Sanderson able to walk off the field. He was the injured Cougar. A swing pass out here to this near side. Oh, good defense there. Nice tackle. Shoestring tackle there from the Cougars. The ball came loose at the end, but whistle was blown. Tackle by Brady DeVoe. Good job by the corner over on this side. But it was enough for a first down for Waterloo. First and 10 from their 35. Gonna drop back to pass. No, nothing doing. Some pressure in that pocket. And then finally dragged down. Nearly a sack for the Cougars. Couple of Cougars getting into the backfield there, but unable to pull Matt Lynn down, and Lynn able to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, the Cougars wrapped up quickly after that, but as you mentioned, it could have been a much bigger play for them as they had a couple of guys who had hands on the quarterback, just weren't able to take him down.
Looks like we're ready to go again here after that injury timeout. Trevor Lawton able to walk off the field a little bit gingerly. It's being tended to by the trainer. So it's 2nd and 9 now for Waterloo. Going to look to put it in the air down this left side. Got a receiver there and makes the snag. And Gain of about 7 yards there. Szymanski on the tackle. Reception made by Alex Sully.
Yeah, at least 2 Cougars pretty much on every wide receiver so far in the last couple plays at least. Once the guy gets the ball, there's at least 2 green shirts on him, if not more than that. So they're doing a great job on the coverage.
Ball is at the 41 of Waterloo, 3rd down and 4.
Call it a gain of 6. 3rd and 4 here for Waterloo. Under a minute to play now in this first half. Lynn dropping back, looking at the middle of the field. He's got a man, and he hit him in stride. Nice throw and catch there. Tackle made by number 84, Brayton Charbonneau, but not before a big gain by Alex Sully.
Yeah, he's grabbed the ball a couple times now. I think it's the 2nd time in a row there. He's hit on the last play as well, and he does a great job as he cuts across the center of the field of snagging that ball and continuing to run.
Matt Lynn, the quarterback for Waterloo, has shown he's got a pretty good arm and pretty accurate there. This time Lynn forced to roll out to his right. He's looking downfield for a receiver. Doesn't see anyone, so decides to tuck and run it. Good job by that Cougars defense to corral him. Stefina makes the tackle over there. Gain of about 5 or 6 looks like on that play.
The longer he stays on his feet, though, the more time goes off the clock, too. That's becoming a big factor now for the Predators as they're still trying to get some positive points scored on this half as it comes to a close. Looks like they call a timeout as well just to stop the clock.
After that timeout by Waterloo, back to the line. Good job there by Szymanski getting into the backfield, jumping up and knocking that pass down out of the air. That's going to bring up a big 3rd down here for Waterloo with 19.5 seconds left in the first half.
Yeah, you can tell Lynn trying to get the ball out of his hands quickly on that play, and the Cougars defensive line out there rather doing a good job again, putting some pressure on and getting those hands up and batting that ball down as it was coming across the line of scrimmage.
Big 3rd down here for Waterloo. 3rd and 5. Under 20 seconds to play. Going to air it out down that right side. He's got a receiver. Good catch made along that sideline and able to get out of bounds. Looks like that was Alex Sully again. Sully, obviously a favorite target of Matt Lynn. CY does a good job catching that football and then able to get out of bounds to stop the clock. 13.2 seconds left in this first half.
Yeah, pretty good gain on that too. It was well past the first down line there, and so they're able to keep this going and extend this with little time left in the first half here.
So Waterloo with the ball at the Cougars' 23-yard line. Not a lot of time left on the clock. The Cougars come with a blitz. Looks like Szymanski came through. And Szymanski gets the hit on Lynn as he's releasing the football. And that pass falls incomplete. 9.8 seconds to go in this football game. 2nd and 10.
Yeah, he was darn close to knocking that right out of his hand before he could even get it off. He was spun around a little bit, almost ended up looking like he was spiking the ball because he was so off balance.
Like I said, 9.8 seconds to go in this first half. Lynn drops back, got some time, finds his receiver over the middle. Good tackle as soon as that catch was made by Charbonneau. But enough for a first down. Waterloo threatening to score. 5.4 seconds left in this first half. Clock is running. Lynn takes the snap. Got to look to the end zone here. It's going to go deep down that right side. And it is incomplete. Looked like the receiver had a shot at it, but just came down without the football. Not sure if it came loose as he hit the ground, but nonetheless, the pass ball's incomplete, and Waterloo not able to take advantage.
Yeah, it looked like some good coverage there from 43, Lucas Rupert, who was all over his man. And you mentioned they've tried to look into their wide receiver there in the far side in that far corner and just about had him too. The ball was in the right area, but they were able to bat that one away and maintain a 30-point lead going into the half.
And that's where we stand right now. The Cougars junior varsity football action lead the Waterloo Region Predators 36-6 in an impressive first half performance. We'll come back with second half action here on your TV. Welcome to second half action here. Junior varsity football at the Chatham-Kent Community Athletic Complex. Directional kick handled nicely by Brett Wiggerson, and he's got some space down that right side of the football field. Oh, a nice stiff arm at the end before he's dragged down. Good job by Wiggerson to jump up and snag that ball out of the air. Looked like Waterloo was trying to find a soft spot over on this near side of the football field for a possible recovery on the kickoff, but Wiggerson gets up in the air and snags it.
Yeah, no kidding. That was a nice stretch by him, too. He reached back almost behind himself as he stretched out to grab that ball and take it down. And as you mentioned, going across the center of the field, too, still able to find some room out there and almost took it back to the 45. It's just about a 50 here.
So the Cougars with the football to open the second half, looking to build on their sizable lead, leading 36-6 over the visiting Waterloo Region Predators. And we've got Waterloo calling a timeout here early on in this second half.
Looks like personnel issue there, too, as they just were another white jersey running out onto the field. So it looked like they may have been shorthanded, and that's why they had the extra guy coming out there. So miscommunication going to cost them a timeout early in this half.
After that Waterloo timeout, Cougars 1st and 10. Bassick Haddon looking at the left side of the field, looking for a man. He's got one. 84 with the reception. That's Charbonneau, and he's going to go in for the score. Charbonneau, 51-yard touchdown reception. His second score of this football game.
Well, extra timeout, giving them a little bit of extra time as well to draw something up to Cougars. And Predators, after taking a timeout, they were out of sorts to start this second half here on defense, and you can see that there too. He just got behind his defender and was able to turn on the afterburners and just burn right past him there.
Charbonneau had a 35-yard touchdown catch in the first half. Now opens the second half with a 51-yard touchdown catch from Darian Bassick Haddon. And the Cougars now lead this one 40-6. Stefina going to line up for the extra point. Good snap, hold, and it is up and no good. So the Cougars have yet to convert an extra point or 2-point attempt so far in this football game. It's going to remain 42-6.
Yeah, they finally get one up, snaps off, and a good hold, and just kicking it wide, too. Had the distance, had the hang time in there, but just couldn't make its way through the uprights. But, I mean, that's small potatoes here in this game when you're scoring 6 points every time you're marching down the field.
After that touchdown to open the second half, Logan Stefina going to kick this off to Waterloo. And we're all set now. Stefina, low kick, and scooped up cleanly by Waterloo. One of the up men. Good job there by Brock Graham on the return. And pretty decent field position there for the Preds. They'll open this second half, their first offensive possession of the second half, at their 47-yard line.
Yeah, good job by him to hold on to that ball, too, because Trevor Lawton, they pretty much took him down by the ball. He grabbed it, tried to rip it out of his hands, and threw him to the ground that way as well right there. But as you mentioned, a decent return for Waterloo as they try to battle back in this one.
Matt Lynn remains at quarterback for Waterloo, dropping back out to his right, fires and caught. Couple of nice moves there by Number 24, Caleb Sargent, who has the lone touchdown for Waterloo, fights for extra yards. Good, tough running after the catch, and that's a first down.
Yeah, getting those knees up high, pulling away from that defender. The initial one looked like 43 had him. Lucas Rupert had him tied up around the ankles, but he was able to break that, and then another one, too, on his way to that nice gain.
And they're going to look down the field again. Nothing there. Looking for a receiver. Oh, wow, what a catch. That was a beautiful catch by number 83, Alex Suley. Looked like a bit of a push-off there on the defender in front of him, but no flag. Suley gets up high, snags that football, and gets a couple feet down.
Yeah, just right on the line, too, and you can see the official was right there, too. He had a clear view of where that ball was coming down, so he was watching his feet the whole way.
Another first down for Waterloo. Looking down the right side, they're going to go deep. Good coverage out there. Oh, and this time, nearly picked off. Nice job there, Lucas Rupert on the coverage. Nearly picked it off. Climbed the ladder, got it at its high point, but just couldn't hold on to it as he came down to the ground.
Yeah, size mismatch there. You can see 43 on 83. There's got to be at least a foot difference, maybe a foot and a half between those two guys out there. And great job by him. You mentioned climbing that ladder, getting up there, grabbing that ball, coming down, but just must have hit the ground as he came down as well. So still good coverage by him, and watch that. It's going to put some questions in the quarterback's mind now, too, if he's going to throw it out that way.
And Lynn's going to fire it out to that left side, get it in Caleb Sargent's hands, who's shown his elusiveness, but he's corralled by that Cougars defense. Good job by that D. Pickup of about 5 on second down is going to bring up a 3rd and 5.
5-yard gain is going to bring up a 3rd down and 5 for Waterloo at the Cougar 25.
Starting to cool off now. That sun behind the clouds as it's setting in the distance. Flynn dropping back, looking down that left side, got his man. Tackle made immediately. Made by Christian Burgoon, but that's going to be enough for another set of fresh downs for Waterloo.
Yeah, you can see the quarterback looking at that side now after he was almost picked off on the near side here, so maybe trying to avoid some of that coverage by Lucas Rupert on this side. Able to find a little bit of room, and they're just getting some small chunk yardage here, able to move the sticks and get another chance at a score.
Flynn line drops back to pass, looking for a receiver, trying to direct traffic. He is going to let it go and just throws it away. Flynn trying to find an open receiver, but didn't feel comfortable with what he had in front of him and threw that football away. Pass is incomplete, brings up 2nd down and 10.
The secondary coverage there for the Cougars, though, as they were tracking him across the field as he was running across it. He was looking to turn up the field and become a runner and maybe try to break it in himself, but those green shirts tracking him right all the way across, so he had to throw that ball away.
Lynn takes the snap over that left side, fires right away. Szymanski there to force the receiver out of bounds. Good catch by Aiden Schnurr. Let's see where they spot this one.
Yeah, Szymanski pushed him out of bounds, but they're still taking a look over here where that's going to be, whether it's going to be whether it's going to be a first down or not. They're trying to figure out.
I think they're trying to get a spot on where that catch was made and decide if it's a first down or not. And they are going to say it was enough yardage for a first down. So Waterloo, impressive drive here for their first offensive possession of this second half.
Yeah, they got a lot of work to do if they're going to come back in this one, but at the same time, some positives for sure for this Predators team as they're looking at a 2-4 record on the season so far.
Lynn takes the snap, drop back, but decides to tuck and run instead. Tackled after a short gain there. Looked like it was Edwin Acosta on the tackle. And no gain brings up a second down and goal from the Cougars' 5-yard line. Lynn drops back. He's got pressure coming from behind, and he's going to get sacked. It was number 3, Trevor Lawton, coming around the corner on Lynn's backside.
Yeah, coming in there as blindside. I don't think you saw him, and we've seen his elusiveness before, Matt Lynn, and it looks like they're going to do a bit of a change up here in personnel. I don't know, Lynn went over to get some more direction from the bench there, so it looks like they're probably going to go for it again here, and we've seen that a couple times, and as you mentioned, they've had quite a bit of success so far. Oh, it looks like they're lining up to kick, actually. Unless it's going to be a fake with Lynn as going to be the placeholder.
Yeah, they are lining up like they're going to attempt a field goal here. As you mentioned, though, if they do indeed follow through with it. And the spot's down. They do. And they say it is good. So 3 points there for Waterloo. Add to their 6 already on the board from their touchdown in the first half. The Cougars still lead Waterloo 42-9 now.
Yeah, it's going to be a little disappointing there for the Predators as they march all the way down the field. Some nice first downs, and all they're able to come away with is 3. But for the Cougars, I mean, if you're on defense there, you don't like surrendering those points in this game, but at the same time, holding them to that as they're looking pretty dominating coming down the field. It's a good job by the Cougars defense, coming up a number of big times, and that last sack too, just the exclamation point on that.
Cougars taking the football at the 35-yard line. 1st and 10.
Cougars begin this drive at their own 35-yard line.
Just over 4 minutes to play here in the third quarter. And they're going to hand it off, trying the middle of the football field. Believe that was Brandon Benoit.
Brandon Benoit on that short game.
Just looked like he lost his footing there in the middle of the line. Benoit, though, has shown some good elusiveness running the football in this game. 2nd and 9 now. Gonna pass this one. Got a receiver out there wide, and that's enough for a first down. Szymanski with the catch, and then the ball came out. I think they're gonna say he fumbled it out of bounds.
Ball did come loose. The officials ruled it did roll out of bounds.
Szymanski with the snag there, and that's going to be plenty for the first down pickup of about 13 yards on that passing play.
Yeah, you can see Szymanski as he's coming through in motion in the backfield, coming forward. He was running down the sideline there, grabbed the ball quickly and secured it and was able to come down on the field.
That brings up a 1st and 10 now for the Cougars. They're going to put it in the air. Oh, looking to go over the middle. Good coverage there. Intended receiver was Trevor Lawton.
Intended for Trevor Lawton. Brings up the 2nd down and 10 for the Cougars. At their own 48.
They're in no hurry at this point either. You can see that coming back as Trevor Lawton, the intended receiver for that play, just sort of sauntering back into the huddle. And the Cougars with that 33-point lead just sort of taking their time out there now as they built up that lead early comfortably, and now they have the they've earned this sort of a rest here in the second half.
So after that incomplete pass to Lawton, 2nd and 10 from their own 47-yard line. Pass ahead and drops back to pass, scanning the field, doesn't see anything that he likes, was going to try to run it, but he gets sacked for the loss. Sacked for about a loss of 4 or 5.
Spotted at the Cougar 45-yard line. It's going to bring up a 3rd down. 3rd down and 13 for the Cougars from their own 44.
And 3rd down now for the Cougars. They make the substitutions, and they'll punt this football away to Waterloo. And setting up for the kick. Ooh, some pressure there, but good job getting that kick away. And good coverage there from the Cougars to get downfield, but Caleb Sargent doing a good job returning, and he's got some space. And then a flag at the end. Szymanski with the tackle, possibly a touchdown-saving tackle on that beautiful return from Caleb Sargent.
Yeah, may have saved a touchdown, but you can add another 15 yards onto this, I think, on this return after Szymanski tackling him up high, taking him down.
Unnecessary roughness is the call against Szymanski, as we said. You could see it on the tackle up high, grabbing the helmet as he was taking Sargent to the ground. But a beautiful return from Caleb Sargent got Waterloo in fantastic territory to start this offensive possession.
Yeah, again, he's showing some elusiveness in this game, and a few bright spots for them for sure, for the Predators. I mean, this defense is just showing up really well for the Cougars, though, and stalling them every time that they seem to be getting anything going here.
Not sure what the discussion is here. The officials making their way over to the Cougars sideline, and
I wonder. I think that is his 3rd personal foul potentially in this game. It's the 3rd time that he's been tagged for, because he had a couple earlier, didn't he? And now again, he spiked the ball earlier, and then he had one here, and then I think he had a push or something earlier in the game too. So I think that's what the discussion was. They're taking Szymanski out of the game.
Well, that's a big loss. Szymanski, a big part of this Cougars squad. Lynn now drops back and has a completion over on that far side. And a couple of big moves from the receiver, who's still on his feet fighting. Finally dropped by Trevor Lawton and a couple of other defenders over there as well. As you hear the horn for the end of this 3rd quarter, we do have a flag on the field as well.
Yeah, Keenan Johnson there just throwing defenders off of himself, shaking them free as he was trying to make up some extra yards there on the far side.
Penalty against Waterloo, pushing from the rear. That's a 10-yard penalty against the Preds.
10-yard penalty against Waterloo.
Yeah, that's costly for them too. That was finally another little spark for them when they had a nice catch and then throwing off some defenders and able to get some yards and take it a little bit closer in for maybe another score. And then a penalty like that brings it back 10 yards.
So barring a penalty, this will be the last play of the 3rd quarter. Matt Lynn dropping back, looking down that left side. He's got a receiver out there. Oh, and the defender, nice play, intercepted. Looks like that was picked off by number 14, Brady DeVoe. Fantastic defense from DeVoe. Nice coverage, and then snags the interception, and the Cougars will take over to start the fourth quarter.
And Lynn was consistently going to that side of the field the last little while here. And as you mentioned, DeVoe makes him pay for it that time, coming up with a big snag. And just to end the third quarter, too. And that's just another testament to the defense of this team for the Cougars, too. You see 42 points on the board, and you think that that's a pretty solid showing for them, considering those are all just straight-up touchdowns, too. So 7 touchdowns for the Cougars, but the defense coming up very strong as well with a number of turnovers.
So Brady DeVoe with the big defensive stop there. Comes away with the pick. Was tackled immediately by the intended receiver. But the Cougars take over possession and will get the ball to start this fourth quarter. First and 10 for the Cougars. They're going to hand it off up the middle. Good push there. Nice run by L.J. Hines. I believe that's his first carry of this football game. Good push up front, too, from that offensive line. Picks up 8 yards on first down.
Yeah, it's one of those runs that it doesn't look like much, really, when you're going up the gut like that, and all of a sudden you set it out there, and you see how far they actually got up there. 8 yards on that first down, so that was a great job by them to push the pile.
Second and short now, 2 yards. And they're going to go with the quarterback keeper here. And, that is Shumansky, who's at quarterback, and he's got the football. Now he's just got a room down the sidelines, that far side. Can he outrun the defense? And he can. Touchdown, Cougars. What a run from Tyler Shumansky. 84 yards to the house, and give that a hat trick for Shumansky, his third touchdown of this football game.
Unbelievable. That run, just the end of the way he closed it out, too. Defenders right on his heels, and he was all of them were gassed as they were coming across there. It seemed like everybody he just kicked that extra gear as he was coming down that side of the field. I wasn't sure we were going to see him again this game after he got pulled on defense, but then they pulled him out there, and nice cut to the middle of the field, and he crossed his way, zigzagged his way right through all the defense and all the way down. Yeah, and he was dancing right along the sidelines.
Tyler Shumansky. Boy, oh boy. What a run. Electrifying the crowd here. Extra point is up, and it is good. The Cougars able to convert for the first time after the score. And after that big touchdown run from Tyler Shumansky, the Cougars now lead the Waterloo Region Predators 49-9.
Efficient offense there again for the Cougars there. Just every time they're touching the ball, coming down with a score pretty much. Only a handful of times that they have been stopped by this Predators defense, and it's not necessarily that much of a fault to the Predators. The Cougars offense, though, that offensive line is just doing such a good job of blocking whenever they're getting the ball back there and able to break away for a huge run there, Shumansky. Unbelievable.
So the Cougars going to kick this one off now to Waterloo after that huge touchdown run from Tyler Shumansky. It's going to be Logan Stefina kicking this one off. Low line drive kick. Couple 3 hops and picked up by the return man, Caleb Sargent, looking for a lane, and he's found one up the middle of the field. Caleb Sargent finally dragged down. Touchdown saving tackle there from the kicker, Logan Stefina.
Yeah, you see that so often in sports and in football as well. A big play by one team, and then the other team just answers right back. And that time, Caleb Sargent, who has been elusive all game, comes back, and you mentioned the kicker had to come back and make that tackle, Logan Stefina, just to save the big play coming back all the way for the Predators there.
Yeah, number 24, For Waterloo, Caleb Sargent, very, very dangerous with the football in his hands. Matt Lynn rolling to his right, looking for a man. He's going to tuck it and run, though. Doesn't see anything he likes, and he's got some room down that left side before finally running out of bounds. Matt Lynn showing some elusiveness and a gain of over 20 yards on that scramble. First and 10 now from the Cougar 27-yard line. Here goes shotgun. Matt Lynn looking at the middle of the field. Oh, what a snag by Caleb Sargent. Wow. The diminutive Caleb Sargent, no fear across the middle of the football field. Snags that football out of the air. Great catch. And then run after the catch by number 24 for Waterloo.
Yeah, that ball was thrown in there with some gusto on it too. Matt Lynn tossing that one in. And Caleb Sargent, those arms came up like lightning rods coming up there. That was so quick too. All of a sudden just flashing it up, taking the ball down, securing it, and able to move up the field.
First and goal, the ball on the 7-yard line. Matt Lynn firing to the left side. It's caught. Is it enough? It is. In for the touchdown. Waterloo, the Predators, get in for the score. Looks like that's number 83, Alex Suley, with the touchdown catch.
Yeah, good for him to get a touchdown too. He made a number of big catches throughout the game just to get that little bit of reward for him too, to find the end zone after making a number of big plays throughout this game. So quarterback finding his stride again, Matt Lynn, and when he finds his target like that, he got a bullet coming out of him.
Waterloo going for 2 here. Lynn dropping back, looking at that left side again. Doesn't see a man that he wants. He's going to run it himself, and he is in for the 2-point convert. Nice job by number 11 at quarterback. Wasn't comfortable throwing to any of his receivers. Tucks it and runs and converts the 2 points.
Predators doing a great job now, really starting to get rolling. You have to start to wonder, though, too, if the Cougars might be going to their second unit in some of these cases with that big scoreboard lead up there on the scoreboard right now. So as much as it's the Predators clicking, it's also the Cougars maybe letting up just a little bit.
Now a 49-17 score here. Junior varsity football action at the Chatham-Kent Community Athletic Complex as the sun sets in the distance. They've got the lights fired up here on the football field. The Cougars with the sizable lead here. An impressive performance by Chatham-Kent. After that touchdown, Waterloo kicking off to Chatham-Kent. And it's a short little squib kick looking to catch the Cougars off guard. It was a loose football. And gonna wait to see what the signal is here, whose football it is. And they're saying it is Waterloo football. The contingent from Waterloo here, ecstatic, making some noise.
Yeah, we haven't heard them much throughout this game, but near the end here, definitely a spirited crowd out there from Waterloo as they finally have something to cheer for in this one, and good for them as well. That was the nice recovery on that kick.
Nice little short squib kick, pays off for Waterloo. Matt Lynn now rolling out to his left, looking for a receiver, and he will air it out, and it's incomplete. Good job there. Coming back on coverage was Darian Bassick. Hadn't spotted the receiver there and got his hand in to break up that intended pass, and it brings up second down. Waterloo breaks the huddle here. 2nd and 10 from the Cougars' 48-yard line. Lynn is going to hand it off. Surprise handoff here. Looking to catch the Cougars off guard. We've got a flag that came in right at the end of that play. We'll see what that flag's all about. Good run there on second down. Looked like it was a gain of about 9 yards on that run, but again, the flag came in right at the end of the play.
Yeah, Kean Johnson got the handoff there and was able to find a little bit of room. And it looked like it was close to the first down, past the first down marker where the ball ended up. So that's going to be a penalty on the defense too.
15-yard penalty, face mask against the Cougars.
Officials will march another 15 yards on the end of that play.
Waterloo got something going here. Time is running out though. 5:27 and counting to go in this football game. Madeline going to scan the field out to the left. Caleb Sargent with the football, and he's got blockers out in front of him. And he is, I am not sure if he got into the end zone.
It looks like they are signaling touchdown.
I believe they're signaling, the two officials down there are signaling. They're talking it over. I'm not sure he got out of bounds. I'm not sure if he got knocked out of bounds at the 1 yard line or not, just short of the goal line.
It looked like the official on this side did signal touchdown, and the white hat as well did signal touchdown. So they're going to be discussing about what to do now. It looked like he did take quite a shot at the end there,
yeah,
like you mentioned.
And I know some of the Waterloo fans are not happy that there wasn't a flag, but he was still in the field of play when he was hit. He was inside the field of play. He was not out of bounds when that hit came. It was good hustle from the defense to try to prevent the score. And now they're signaling, the officials have now signaled again that it is indeed a touchdown. So Caleb Sargent gets into the end zone, and it is Caleb Sargent that the trainer is tending to right now, because as he got hit, it was right along the sidelines, and it's the closest point to the track and field track around the field. And so he slid along the track as he was forced out of bounds. I think he got his arm scraped up a bit there on the track turf. And so after that touchdown, now Waterloo lining up to go for two here with 5:17 to play. Officials blowing the play dead there as Caleb Sargent was still being helped to the sidelines. And again, now Waterloo going for two. Madeline dropping back, looking to his left. And that pass is out wide. Coverage over there provided by, it was Brady DeVoe. Pass intended for Alex Sully, who does have a touchdown in this football game. So after all is said and done, the Cougars now lead 49-23 with 5:17 to play in this football game.
Yeah, the Predators cutting into that lead a little bit, but with some nice big plays too, and finally some stuff starting to pay off for them. It just a little too late after the first half was over. I think you had the feeling that the Cougars were going to have a lot to work with there as far as room for error, and they've had some big plays of their own in this second half. That Szymanski touchdown really put the exclamation point on this one.
Waterloo, you got to watch for the short little squib kick again here, and there it is. And the Cougars do a good job, not caught off guard this time. Good job by the up man. Number 27, Mitchell Fortuna, jumps on the football, and the Cougars will take over in good field position.
And the clock keeps running, so as long as they can keep the offense on the field, it should take quite a bit of time off the clock.
Cougars break the huddle here. 1st and 10 from the 55. Bassick Haddon under center. He's going to pitch it out to his back, who bobbles the football, scoops it up off the turf, but in all kinds of trouble. We've got a late flag that came in. Looked like it was a late hit. Looked like that was Corin Stewart who had the football and then lost it, scooped it up, and then after he was tackled, looked like a late hit came in from Waterloo and the flag came out.
That's before the penalty, looking like a loss of about 12 yards or so there. But we'll have to see how this penalty shakes out.
Unnecessary roughness is the call against Waterloo. It's a 15-yard penalty. Penalties have become a big part of this football game and continue to be so. That would have been a big loss for the Cougars. Instead, it's a flip of the field and a fresh set of downs.
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, 15 yards going back the other way too, and from the line of scrimmage there, not from where he went down. So that's a huge penalty going back the other way. It would have been a loss of about 12 instead of a gain of 15 on that penalty.
1st and 10 now for Chatham-Kent at the 40-yard line of Waterloo. Bassick Haddon under center. They're going to hand it off, and that time with the carry was Brady DeVoe. And now we've got another flag. This out. Waiting to hear who this penalty is against. Number 45, White, has been ejected from the game. That was the second straight play where 45 was flagged, and he's been ejected. So that ends up being a 30-yard penalty. So 2 15-yard penalties, and that puts the Cougars at the 10-yard line of Waterloo.
That's 45 yards off of just two plays, two big penalties.
They're going to hand it off in the middle. Nice running there from Corin Stewart, weaving his way through traffic before he's tackled at about the 4-yard line.
Gain of about 6 on that play is going to bring up 2nd down and goal from the 4.
2nd and goal here. And we are at the 2-minute mark now of this football game. 2 minutes left. They're going to hand it off. 44, good stop there. Waterloo on defense. Carry was L.J. Hines, but he was met immediately by a defender, and good clean tackle there by the goal line.
Yeah, right at the goal line now. And so just you have to wonder if they might just hand it off to somebody, give somebody a chance to get a score here. Punch one in.
L.J. Hines and Corin Stewart in the backfield. Oh, we got a whistle before the play. And Waterloo called timeout before that play got off. So it will still be 3rd down for the Cougars after this timeout. So here we go, third down for the Cougars, 3rd and goal from the 2-yard line. You're going to pitch it out to Corin Stewart, who's going to try to fight for the goal line, and he is in. Corin Stewart with a touchdown run. And the Cougars lengthen their lead.
And you had to hope that it would go to Stewart, give him a chance. He's carried the ball a couple times now since they've padded that lead a little bit, and looks like he's getting a shot out there, putting in some hard work, and then able to break through for that touchdown now as well, just to ice this one away.
So the Cougars now lead 55-23. Going to look to add the extra point here. On to kick it is Tyler Szymanski. Darian Bassick-Hadden, the holder. High snap, a good job by Bassick-Hadden to get it down, and it is no good. Szymanski's kick wide, so the score will remain 55-23 with just 1:09 remaining here in this junior varsity football action. The home squad, the Chatham-Kent Cougars, not giving the Waterloo Region Predators a very warm welcome. Really, really executing on offense, and defense has been pretty stout as well.
Almost the complete opposite story of what we saw in the last game with the varsity teams. So these respective clubs as well. The Waterloo coming in here and putting on a good show defensively and offensively against those varsity Cougars. And now the junior varsity team for the Cougars, though, showing that they got a bright future ahead of them as well. And we've seen some of these guys like Szymanski coming up through the system, Bassick-Hadden as well. Those guys growing their game in different ways. And Bassick-Hadden, now that he's passing the ball, still showing his running skills. Szymanski with some big runs and some good tackles on defense as well. So a strong future for this team. 5-0-1 right now, looking to improve to 6-0-1 in a couple minutes here.
There we go, the Cougars with the kickoff. Good deep kick here. Caught cleanly by the return man. Looking for a hole up the middle, and he's got it. And he's got some room to run. And can he get to the corner? Touchdown return for Waterloo.
There's 1 minute left, and there's always time. There's always time. They're just proving it right there. What a return now. We've seen a couple of these. And these guys doing a great job of just juking and spinning away from defenders. And you could see number 8 chasing him down. Szymanski's got speed. He couldn't even catch up to him as he came down the far side there.
Boy, what a touchdown return. Was that Caleb Sargent? Oh, it was 26. It was Keon Johnson. And I think they were trying to avoid actually kicking the ball to Caleb Sargent, who was the other return man back there, and it ended up in Keon Johnson's hands, who showed that he is also an electric returner and takes it for the score. Waterloo lining up to go for 2 now. Matt Lynn looking to the right side, starting to get some pressure. He rolls out towards the corner, directing traffic, throws this one up in the air, and it is caught. Are they going to say he's in bounds? Oh, he's out of bounds. They're going to call it incomplete. They're going to say he was out of bounds when he caught that football. And it is a failed 2-point attempt, and now they're calling the trainer out. That receiver injured after coming down in that corner, the far corner of the end zone.
That looked like that may have been Caleb Sargent out there. I saw 4 on there. I think it was 24 who came down with the ball. And, yeah, as you mentioned, though, waved off on the far side. So that's a little bit of a shot for them. It was a nice grab by him to try to grab that far side, but just couldn't come in there.
So that was Caleb Sargent that was being tended to in the back corner of the end zone. Nice to see him walk off under his own strength. Now Waterloo going to kick this one off. Got to imagine they're likely going to go with some kind of trickery, maybe a little squib kick or a directional kick here. Looking for a hole, and the return team But nice job catching that one cleanly was Brett Wiggerson. Good return there by number 81. You talked about players that have been big contributors. Certainly Wiggerson's done a good job in this football game as well with some big catches. And clearly has some talent that will be welcomed at the varsity level when he gets to that age bracket.
Absolutely, and even for now, these guys just doing a great job. And yeah, it's not like there's one or two playmakers on this team. They have talent spread throughout the roster, offensive side and defensive side, sure hands both ways. So these guys can play on the defensive side of the ball, and still make some nice interceptions like we saw in this game as well, and then just turn right around and play wide receiver out there and catch some for the offense.
And the clock winds down. The Cougars will snap this one, take a knee, and that will end it. The Chatham-Kent Cougar junior varsity squad with the victory 55-29 over the visiting Waterloo Region Predators.
Great game on both sides of the ball for the Cougars. I mean, allowed 29 points. A lot of that coming in the second half, though, after they had already built up quite a significant lead. So, and some big plays for the Predators to close this one out. So it was a good all-around effort for the Cougars, both sides of the ball. Again, defense, offense coming up big with some big scores. And then for the Predators, there's some bright spots for them, but some work to do as well.
Yeah, good performance here from the Cougars, who improved their record to 6-0-1. Certainly a few notables here. Darian Bassett-Cadden, the quarterback for the Cougars, also plays defense. Had a 2-touchdown game. Tyler Shumansky, 3 touchdowns in this one. The biggest one was the 84-yard touchdown run, which was absolutely electrifying. Also getting some scores here. Corin Stewart had a 2-yard touchdown run. Logan Stefina with a 5-yard touchdown run. And Braden Charbonneau, 2 touchdowns in this one, a 35-yard touchdown reception and a 51-yarder. So obviously a lot of explosiveness in this offense.
Yeah, some really big plays from them. Shumansky, that one really stands out, though, of all the touchdowns they scored here tonight, showing his speed and showing that he can really move down the field quickly.
So again, the junior the junior varsity Cougars come away with the victory, 55-29. Thanks for watching Cougars football. On behalf of Jeff Brooks on the camera, Matt Weaverink, and myself, Mike James, enjoy your evening, and thank you for tuning in to Cougars football.